Welcome to That Trigun channel. I am That Trigun Guy. In this series, I'll be breaking down all the fights in the Trigun and Trigun Maximum manga, as the stylish, convoluted art by Naitao has left some fans confused as to what is exactly happening. This is not a full story breakdown and skips flashbacks and the surrounding circumstances, focusing on page-by-page descriptions of the encounters between Vash and his friends and the nefarious gung-ho guns. Episode 1. Monev the Gale. Vash sits in prison, framed for a crime he did not commit, by Legato, with the insurance girls, Meryl Streif and Millie Thompson, sitting outside the jail cell. A cloaked man enters the jail. Vash is being held in. Vash cries, "Get down," and the man casts aside his cloak and opens fire at the interior of the jail. The jail guard and Millie and Meryl dodge out of the way. The man stands tall, announcing he is the first of the gung-ho guns, Monev the Gale. Vash cries to the onlooking Meryl and Millie to not get involved. Monev bursts through Vash's jail door, grasping his throat. Meryl draws her gun, but is knocked aside against a wall. Monev announces he has been training for this exact moment, and he will now kill Vash. He begins counting down from 10. He reaches 1. But just as he does, Vash reveals a concealed gun in his robotic arm and fires multiple shots into Monev's shoulder. Monev strikes at Vash, but Vash breaks free of his chains. Monev runs backwards and unleashes a flamethrower towards Vash. Vash unleashes multiple more shots into Monev's face guard, knocking him through the window. Vash's eyes shift, looking more serious and angry. Monev, knocked down on the ground, looks up in horror at the person who looked but a weak and gentle man, now filled with rage, and exclaims, "It is the Diablo." Vash takes his gun from the jail desk, realizing he is stuck between a rock and a hard place, and may need to take a life to save his friends. Vash shoots the joints of the gun attached to one of Monev's arms. The gun falls off. He can now use only half his firepower, a bystander exclaims. Vash runs out of the jail to distance himself from innocent bystanders and hides behind a wall, gun poised. Monev opens fire on the town in an attempt to kill Vash. Vash points his gun at the wall directly in front of him, waiting. Monev's shots blast through the wall, decimating it. Vash rushes to the side to avoid the shots, but an innocent bystander is caught in Monev's gunfire, killing him. Vash opens fire towards Monev with more intensity. Monev is knocked back, but not defeated. Millie runs towards Vash, but he urges her to stop. She obliges. Vash looks at multiple children killed by Monev's blast, grief at his failure to save them washing over him. Vash, realizing Monev must be stopped immediately, rushes to the local bank, and for some reason urges them to open the safe. Vash is inside the safe. Monev advances towards the bank, slowly, assuming Vash is using the safe door as a shield. Vash quickly reloads his revolver. Monev jumps towards the bank, saying he will smash Vash to bits. Monev, now in front of the bank, continues towards Vash, saying his hiding place will be no match for him, for he is Monev the Gale. Monev brings out a huge machine gun-like weapon and opens fire on the bank. The shots blast through the bank doors with great force, hitting the metal safe. Vash rushes out of the safe, rolling the door before him as a shield, firing at Monev, finally knocking his visor off his face and knocking him to the ground. Vash straddles atop Monev, pressing the gun into his eye until it begins to bleed profusely. Monev begs for Vash to spare his life. Vash remembers a woman from his past and exclaims, "Rem," and for some reason, his anger turns to tears. Removing his gun from the defeated Monev's face, he begins to weep. That's it for the duel between Vash and the first gung-ho gun, Monev the Gale. Tune in next time for Vash's harrowing confrontation with Dominic the Cyclops, second member of the gung-ho guns.